2016 to 2023 third gen Toyota Tacoma OEM tonneau cover removal and replacement. Let's go ahead and get started. Now here behind me we got my 2022 third gen Toyota Tacoma access cab 4x4 TRD Sport, and already it's got a OEM tonneau cover, and it came that way from the factory, or actually the port. So when it came from Mexico, it was shipped to the United States, and this was a port installed accessory. So let me go ahead and tell you the story of why I'm doing this video. So essentially, I went to North Carolina for Christmas. I picked up an Oakley display case, had the tonneau cover folded up in 3 ways, and stupid me, I forgot to strap down the tonneau cover because there's basically 2 latches that strap it down to the 3rd panel. I forgot to do that, and about an hour and a half of my trip, I heard a loud pop sound. So I immediately looked at my rear view mirror and I saw 1 panel was missing and the middle panel was just basically floating up in the air. So I immediately pulled over, and of course the rear panel was missing. So long story short, I went on the Facebook Marketplace and I was searching for a long bed tonneau cover, and sure enough I found one. It was pretty cheap, 80 bucks, but it was badly UV faded, and I went ahead and did the restoration with restoring the color and all the moisturizers back in the plastic. And then fast forward a few weeks later, my friend Martin from Texas, I helped him find his truck. He had a tonneau cover just like this on his truck, and he removed, and he offered it to me. So I couldn't pass up the deal. You know, bought him and his girlfriend a nice lunch. Had to meet him in West Virginia, so that was a long road trip right there. But so anyways, the point of this video is I'm going to actually show you guys how to remove the OEM tonneau cover in case you need to move a big piece of cargo or something and then reinstall it. So let's go ahead and show you the steps of removing the tonneau cover and reinstalling it. All right, so those of you with the 2016 to 2023 Toyota Tacoma and it came with the OEM tonneau cover, this is it right here. So they call this the tri-fold tonneau cover. It's basically in 3 different sections. So this section folds onto that one, and then these 2 fold onto the back side, and then right here is where it clips into place. And that's basically my mistake of why we're doing this video, because I forgot to clip this into place. Don't ever do that. And essentially what happened on the highway is this 3rd panel just broke off on the highway, and this was flapping in the wind. So fortunately my truck was not damaged, nor the display case I was hauling. But all right, so let me go ahead and show you guys the first step of removing the tonneau cover. Let's go ahead and open the tailgate. All right, so on the bottom side towards the back, towards the driver's side, you got this lever right here. So what you want to do is you want to pull it towards the back side, and then you're going to lift up on the rear panel. Okay, so once you have this unlatched, you want to swing it and carefully, gently lay it onto the 2nd panel. Okay, in the same situation for the middle panel, you want to go ahead, pull this latch right here on the bottom left-hand side, and you want to lift up. Okay, you want to take these 2 panels, the rear and the center section, you want to carefully lay it on the front panel right here. And this right here is how the OEM tonneau cover folds up. So this section is always in the way, so if you're hauling cargo and you need this panel removed, I'm going to show you how to do it. If you're leaving this in place, now one very major point to note right here is these latches right here. You need to go ahead and undo this and make sure you clip this into place just like so. And you want to do this on the passenger side as well, because if you don't do this, you're going to make the mistake that I did. You're going to run the highway, this thing is going to fold over, and the back panel is just going to rip right off, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so that's the situation I'm facing right now, and there's even a warning right here. So it shows you how to latch this thing in place, so pay special attention to this right here, and just don't make the mistake I did. Also gives you some instructions right here of how to remove it. So let me go ahead and show you guys what's going on with the removal of this tonneau cover. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go ahead, undo these clips right here, put them back in position, and you're going to fold this tonneau cover to the central part. Okay, now we have straight access to that rubber cover right there. Let me show what's going on. Okay, the next step of the process, over here on the passenger side, closest to the cab, you got this rubber cover right here. So you want to go ahead and lift this up. Okay, so once you've popped off this rubber cover, it's going to reveal a 12mm bolt. And you want to go ahead and take your ratchet with a 12mm socket, and you want to go ahead and remove this bolt. Let's go and do that. All right, now that we got the 12mm bolt removed, let's go ahead and fold this middle panel onto this rear panel right here. Okay, go ahead and take these strap latches and latch it in place on both sides. Okay, now we're on the final step of removing the OEM tri-fold tonneau cover on the Tacoma. Let me show you the process. All right, on the bottom side left of the first panel, you got this latch right here. You want to go ahead and pull it backwards. And then what you want to do is actually lift up on the tonneau cover, and it's going to release it from where the 12mm bolt was on the passenger side. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera. Let's go ahead, remove this tonneau cover from the Tacoma. All right, the OEM tri-fold tonneau cover officially removed from the 3rd gen Tacoma. Let me show you the hardware, what's going on right here. So towards the back side, you got this one latch right there. And on the middle, you got this latch right there. And then first and foremost, you got this latch right here on the front. So as you can see, the bed rail caps, they have been trimmed. And this looks like it was trimmed in a very professional manner. I presume at the port, they probably got special templates they use to cut this out. So it's a very clean install right there. And then towards the front of the bed, facing the cab, looks like got plastic support right there to support the tonneau cover. All right, the passenger side, the rear, and the center also have a latch right there. But on the front of the passenger side, you got this little eyelet right here, which is where the 12mm bolt goes through. It locks the tonneau cover in place. But I mean, just take a look at the level of detail of the trim job of this bed rail. I'm very happy with that. That's very professional. So if you're adding a OEM tri-fold tonneau cover on your 3rd gen Tacoma, you're going to have to trim your bed rails right here, just like so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and install the tonneau cover that Martin gave to me. So let's go ahead, have that thing folded up, and I want to make sure the latch falls into place right there, and now we can align the 12mm bolt for this right here. Okay, let me go ahead, grab that tonneau cover, and I believe that's about 60 pounds, by the way. They are pretty heavy. All right, that wraps up the removal and reinstallation of the OEM tri-fold tonneau cover for the 3rd generation Toyota Tacoma. Now, basically the main intention of making this video is if you're hauling some big cargo and you want to remove this because this panel is going to be in the way, this is basically the method of doing so. Or if you're doing a like-for-like replacement, such as what I'm doing, due to the fact that I forgot to latch this thing on the highway and the rear panel just basically broke off. So don't do what I did. Not very smart at all, so I take full accountability for that. And the tools used, or tool for singular, is a 12mm ratchet. Now, if you're installing this from scratch, you're going to need a tool in order to cut these bed rail caps and also to bolt down these latches right here. Alrighty guys, that wraps up the removal and reinstallation of the tri-fold tonneau cover on a 2016 to 2023 3rd generation Toyota Tacoma. Now the only tool I use is a 12mm ratchet, but if you're installing this from scratch, you're going to need to notch out the bed cap rails and also bolt down the latches that go on the side of the bed rails. So I want to go ahead and give special thanks to my friend Martin over there in Texas for actually delivering this thing to me partially. So let me go ahead and tell you a cool story. So Martin is very dedicated to cars. So he's got an old school Jeep. He found some discontinued wheels he liked on Facebook Marketplace, and he actually rented a truck and drove up to West Virginia, picked up the wheels and tires, and then he met me for lunch, and that's when he dropped off this tonneau cover. So Martin, thank you very much for this tonneau cover. It's going to go in good hands right here. Anyhow, if you got any specific questions on the removal and reinstallation of a tri-fold tonneau cover on the 3rd generation Toyota Tacoma, go ahead and comment below. And if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.